The Countdown Conspiracy, Chapter 20, Part 1. It'll be tight, but it is possible. Tamaki taps his chin thoughtfully. We're all in the main cabin. Outside, in the far distance, we can see Earth, lit up like a crescent moon. We're slowly drawing closer. You really think you can pilot us to connect with the International Space Station? Anna raises an eyebrow. Tamaki waves a hand at her. Don't you worry about that. If Marina's numbers are correct, I could dock us with my eyes closed. Please don't, Najma says. I smile. So far, everyone's in with my plan. Even Anna, which is baffling, but welcome. Thanks, I say to my fellow crewmates. You guys are the best. It'll be a nice change to save some lives instead of the opposite, Rahim says. And you? Anna asks Esteban. You've been oddly quiet this whole time. She instinctively goes to cross her arms, but quickly finds she can't because her right arm is in a sling. I've just been thinking, he says slowly. Uh-oh, watch out, Tamaki jokes. He punches Esteban in the side, and Esteban punches back at him. Hey, wait to hear my idea first, he protests. It's a really good one. Okay, what is it? I ask. Esteban floats up near the pilot's chair, one hand on the wall, his eyes growing wide with excitement. All right, so you know how Mr. Burnett said our families will blow up if we use our comm systems to try and contact anyone? Yeah, funny enough, I hadn't forgotten that little tidbit, I say. He put up one finger to shush me as Anna snorts. And remember, Dr. Mayworth giving us that calculus problem? The one without any answer? He rambles. And saying that sometimes problems don't have answers, and the best solution is to change the problem? Just tell us your idea already, Anna orders. Okay, Esteban puts his hands up. So I was thinking, we need to change the problem. Instead of communicating to Earth through our comm systems here, let's use the ones on the ISS-2. Anna's glare dissipates. Esteban, that's brilliant. Thanks, he beams at her. My mind is already racing with the idea. We were planning on docking with them long enough to get the astronauts on board our spaceplane. But we could spare another few moments so that we can send a communication. The numbers start running through my head again. Yeah, this could work. We could do this, guys. We could actually call Earth and warn them. That way, I trail off. No one finishes my sentence for me. Instead, we all look at each other, then slowly at Tamaki, who spins around away from us, making a grunt of annoyance. That way, if we crash and people die, people will still know who was behind it all. So I guess the last question is, how do we make sure we connect successfully with the space station? Rahim asks. Our doors aren't compatible. We can't risk any gaps between us and them, or someone could get lost to space. Find Anna's eyes in the back of the cabin. She looks deep in thought. Anna, what do you think we should do? I ask. Everyone gapes at me like I just asked if the universe revolves around Earth. Anna, however, has her mouth dropped open the widest. You're asking me? You're a mission commander, right? I ask. There's a long period of silence. Our fellow cadets stare back and forth between us, gawking, none of them daring to speak. Slowly, a smile breaks across Anna's face. Yes, I am. She pulls up her comm screen and gathers us around. I have a plan, but it will take all of us to make it work. My fingers move over the datapad of my console, tapping away instructions to our engines to prepare for our next move. We've been traveling for hours and are finally within spitting distance of Earth. In fact, the moon pulls larger and larger into view by the moment, and we're about to slingshot around it. This is the only way that we could build up enough speed to knock us into orbit and match with the ISS-2. By doing this one last, admittedly risky, stunt, we'll have an actual chance of saving the ISS astronauts with the limited power we have left in reserve. Let's do this, as Tamaki says once we're in range. He tilts the controls and we go into our dive toward Earth's giant rocky natural satellite. It's exhilarating. We're so close to the moon's surface, I feel like I could reach out the window and touch it. Instead of faint splotches like they appear through earthbound telescopes, the craters are fully realized. Valleys, mountains, crevices, the moon is beautiful. If we can't get to Mars in the future, getting to the moon would definitely be a great second choice. Yeah, Esteban high fives everyone he can reach. Look at us go. Take that, moon. We got this. We're not back yet, Anna cautions. Don't get too excited. Boy, are the people on the ISS-2 going to be surprised when they see us pulling up, Esteban says, ignoring Anna and continuing to jabber. Maybe they'll even be able to pilot us back to Earth. Hey, no way, that's my job, Tamaki protests. I haven't gotten to do anything awesome yet on this trip, so you'd better at least let me land this thing. I decide not to tell Tamaki about the 9 parachutes I've printed. It's been a relatively restful past 40 hours, and this moon side trip is peaceful in its own special way, too. The only disturbance has been my stomach nausea, likely from a continuing spell of nerves and hunger. I don't want to say anything out loud and jinx us, but so far our trip home has gone really well. It actually worries me. Nothing has gone smoothly so far in any of this. Why should it start now? But as we pass the far side of the moon and Earth pulls back into view, I can't help but cheer along with everyone else. Our rockets fire, shooting us at super speeds towards home. Maybe there really isn't anything left to worry about, I think, as Esteban doles out another round of high fives. Maybe we finally got the advantage. It takes a few more hours, but eventually we get near enough to start easing into orbit around our planet. During our entire approach, my eyes have eagerly scanned Earth's surface, waiting to get a glimpse of the United States. I allow myself a small smile when it finally comes into view. It's dawn there. As Earth turns, daylight begins spreading over the Midwest. It's cloudy, but I can make out the Great Lakes and know that just south of those is my home. Moving into orbital position, Rahim announces from my side. I can actually hear each of us suck in air and hold our breath as we finally drop into orbit around planet Earth. Ha! Esteban shouts. Yeah, here we come, International Space Station. Thrusters at 40% power, I say. Main engines coasting. Orbiting Earth at 9,204 meters per second, Anna reports. Crossing paths with the ISS-2 in 21 minutes. 3 more orbits until we're aligned. I watch outside our windshield. This is for you, Lizzie, and for you too, Krushkov. The minutes tick by as we loop around planet Earth several times, and those minutes soon turn into hours. None of us say much during that time. It's like we're all just drinking in the view below. Earth, home. We're here. We've made it back. Once we're on our final orbit, Tamaki slows our spaceplane to a crawl in preparation for what we need to do next. The quick turnovers from the dark side to the sunlit side of Earth slow down, keeping us in the light for this final task. There it is, Najma gasps. I tear my eyes away from the greens and blues below. The space station is in view. Its elaborate, multi-sectional body is something I've seen countless times in broadcasts, online videos, and toy models. But in person, even after everything we've been through, it doesn't seem real. I shake off that feeling quickly, knowing that there's still a very good chance that we won't dock with it properly. Okay, Tamaki, this is all you, I say. Don't miss, Anna adds. I smile in spite of myself. Maybe it's some sort of space madness talking, but Anna definitely seems way more hilarious lately. Will you all relax? I got this, Tamaki reassures us. Relax, right. I fold my hands together and squeeze them tight. Easy, easy, Rahim mutters under his breath as we draw closer to the space station. Tamaki jerks us downward. What are you doing? Najma hisses. Trust me, Tamaki says. A moment later, we're moving back up. And don't talk anymore. I need to concentrate. We jostle up, then down, then to the side, and back up. I feel like Tamaki's taking us in every direction except toward the ISS-2. But nevertheless, we continue to be on course with it. He's like a 21st century Buzz Aldrin, Esteban says. We should call him Dr. Rendezvous. What did I say about talking? Tamaki growls. Right, sorry, Esteban says. But I smile. It's true. Docking manually with an object in orbit is one of the trickiest things an astronaut ever needs to do. From what Lizzie had explained, it's entirely counterintuitive. You have to move down before up, move far to one side to sweep back on path, and essentially spirograph yourself toward your target. I'm really glad I'm not in the pilot's seat. Call coming in, Esteban says. I think it's the ISS-2 crew. No talking, Esteban, Tamaki barks. Don't answer, Anna warns. Remember what Mr. Burnett said. Right, I know, Esteban says. Is no one listening to me? Can't you all just shut up? Tamaki tilts us down once again. I watch the incoming call light turn on and off by Esteban's console. I bet the ISS crew is beyond surprise right now. I grin a little, helping to relax some of my nerves as Tamaki continues to bounce us around. Got it, just a little more, Tamaki mutters, slipping into Japanese for a moment. Okay, flight engineer, he goes back to English. Get that hatch ready. We must be close. I hop up, floating back through the main cabin to the port door to ready the airlock seal. Anna's plan was much simpler than mine would have been. Instead of building a complex connecting pod, we'll lock onto the ISS-2 mirror door and cut into their outer platings, pinning us to them. Then we'll plaster it with suction material to block any cracks and open it to bring the astronauts inside. Esteban, come on, I call. You're going to need to get into the ISS, remember? Right, he calls back. Sorry, just distracted up here. This caller keeps calling. Headsets on, you two, Anna orders. Esteban and I both do as she says. Our ship shudders to a halt, and I pull open the control box, getting to work on hot wiring the door. It's not meant for this exact purpose, but if I can just get the outer latches to move in, then the ISS-2 should be able to grip on, just like it would to a resupply spacecraft. Got it, I shout as it clicks into place with a solid thunk. We're connected. Woo! Esteban cheers, floating into the cabin behind me and wrapping me in a giant hug. We are so awesome! Tamaki exhales loudly. Yeah, super easy, no problem. Go team. I can see him collapse in his chair from through the cabin door. Next to him, Najma sends signals to the ISS-2 to unlock their hatch. Anna sets the cutters to dig in for a full grip, while Raheem finishes printing out a tubular version of FlexCast material to stick to the inside of the tunnel. Pull myself out of Esteban's grip. Yeah, now we just need to open up the hatch and all the vid screens through the entire spaceplane flash on at once, drawing our attention upward. When I see who's on the screens, my blood freezes straight through me. Mr. Burnett. You! Najma gasps. What do you want? Tamaki demands.